Hello and welcome to Pleasure Explosion, a podcast where we talk shit about something for a while. I'm your host for this week, Ashley Hobley, and joining me are five guys far more interesting than myself. First, we have Tasmania's biggest YouTuber, Dylan Blight.
Ooh. Fucking support me on Patreon, hashtag what up, son.
Next, we've got Thomas Marshall, Twitter's biggest, newest expert.
Fuck yeah, I'm winning at Twitter at the moment. I hope everyone's keeping up, and I say that knowing that I send you all of my good happenings on Twitter through Facebook Messenger, so you are keeping up.
We also have the president of the Hot Cross Bun Haters Club, Nicholas Pryor.
Fuck hot cross buns.
Hashtag.
A deep cut into episode 2.
Yes.
Yep. And returning after a week off, we have a man always putting in work, John O'Peck.
That's me.
That's like your catchphrase.
That's my new one, yeah.
It's your boy!
I've got a different one every week. So we'll see how we go.
I'll steal it then. Can we redo the whole show? Because I would have said, shit boy!
And we've also got Jack.
Oh, fuck. That was anticlimactic. I was waiting for this awesome lead in. I'm going to get this. Is that all you wrote for me? And we've got Jack. You don't even get the last name.
I've been very busy.
It's your boy.
You can't all have it's your boy.
Yeah, we can.
I'm going to go back to that if you guys are going to steal it.
Shit boy!
It's your boy.
Yeah, so this is the show.
I'm a little upset. I'm not going to lie, Ashley.
I'll come up with something better in 6 weeks' time when I'm hosting again.
Don't worry about it.
Don't spoil the fact we're going to rotate. For all anyone knows at this point, we're just whoever.
That's assuming we're still in the air, yeah.
Week. Well, I'll be here.
So how have you guys been? How have you been, Jack?
I was good until about 30 seconds ago, actually. But to be honest, I'm buggered. I've just spent the day in the garden trying to create a garden bed to plant some trees in because, you know, that's something the grown-ups do. And I learned something very important today, guys. If you want something done, you've got to get off your ass, you've got to pick up your phone, you've got to call someone, like a tradie or a landscaper, and you've got to get a quote and you've got to get them to do it because
this is a very important lesson. Yes.
I have learned today that no matter how hard you try at something, if you don't have the skills, you will fail.
Yep.
I'm glad this is I like Jono sitting over there in the corner going, I host a very serious podcast called Putting in the Work, and what that man just said.
All a lie.
That's also
Jack,
not
did you
the name
water
of
down
Jono's
the
podcast.
Jack, did you water down the soil?
I did for like an hour and a half. I didn't at the start though. At the start, I was like, "Yeah, I'll just boom," and it was like concrete, and it was hot and sunny. I'm like, "Fuck!" And then I started watering, and then I'm like, "Oh, I better water it." And then I put the sprinkler on for like an hour, and then it got a little bit easier. But by then, I was fucked, and I just made a massive mess of my backyard. And I decided, you know what? I don't have the skills to do this properly. It will take me about a month.
I could not bury a dead body if I tried.
No, I've learned that today as well. I mean, what
I
else
sympathise with you, Jack.
That's why they dump it in the river.
Yeah, but I feel like someone
That's you,
find
the
it.
lazy fuck, who's like, nah. The mafia guy's like, listen, you can be a made man, but you have to go kill this guy and bury him in the bush. And you're like, can I put him in a river? No, he has to be buried in a hole. You're like, well, fuck, mate.
Oh, fuck, I don't know if I can help him. Yeah, no, like, I'd probably, like, now if I murdered someone, I'd probably incinerate. Like, that's probably what I'd go with, but...
Wood chipper.
Yeah, but I feel like that would just create too much mess. But no, yeah. So I attempted.
They create a lot of noise. I'll tell you that much, Jack.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, no
And
recording
louder
the
if the
podcast.
person's still alive.
That's a callback.
But,
A deep cut to episode 1.
We've had 2 episodes.
Oh no, that's
We've had 2
episode
callbacks.
2 again, isn't it?
That's episode 2. Two callbacks to
We
episode
are
2
so meta.
already.
Well, it's good to know somebody's listening.
yeah. but yeah, no. So that was that you can watch that and how all that unfolded on my journal that'll publish probably later on tonight. But yeah, did not go as planned, and I'm now very, very tired and sore. But I learned a valuable lesson, so there's that.
Good.
That's interesting, Jack.
I'm proud of you, Jack.
Thanks,
Tough
guys.
job.
I appreciate that.
That was a walk.
That's great. Let's
Every-
just everyone give Jack a slight little clap here for good job, Jack.
Congratulations on not
Good
being
job.
a man.
Oh no, we're going to throw your sink out, Dill.
Calm down.
Don't
How's your
synchronise
week
to
been
that
then?
clap.
Mine,
Yep.
well, the same as any other week, really. Moving on.
That's depressing.
That was a little bit depressing.
How's your fortnight been, Jono?
Oh, look, it's been really good. I'm really enjoying work. Today's been a bit lousy with the flooding and everything. It's maybe why
The what?
I'm in the flooding. My bathroom laundry flooded, so I've been mopping up and trying to dry carpet off for the last 2.5 hours. That's why I was 2 minutes late. Sorry about that.
No one
Starting
actually
a trend
knows.
here.
Well, Jack
I was gonna
certainly
say,
noticed.
do you know what this podcast is about? We don't need a topic. It is all of a sudden handyman. I've been digging holes. I've been
Rename-
making mess.
rename it
Fucking
till
sewage
time.
everywhere. Oh, fucking shit. It's Tim the Tool Man. Fuck yous.
All right, Tom, lift us up. What have you been doing this week?
I have played. It must be something like 30 hours of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh
at
yeah,
this
that
point.
game. I forgot about that game.
That's predominantly what I did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the earlier portion of the week was spent at work. Not a huge amount to report. I spent far too much time pissing around and finding things, collectibles, and side quests. So I still don't know what's going on in the story. You'll be pleased to know.
Can we go back to me for a minute? Because I just remembered something very.
I guess
If
we
we
can
could
go
just
back.
go back, if we could just go back a moment to me, since you know I'm so important, and I forgot to mention, guys. Guess who got the platinum only a few hours ago?
Nicholas.
This guy.
Congratulations.
This guy. If we could all give Dylan a plat clap, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you
who's
very
Jack?
I
much.
refuse to clap for that.
Thank you.
One of those claps sounded like someone was jerking it. It's like,
It's what
That's
Dylan
quite-
deserves.
Quite
If you wanna
possibly
jerk,
me in
you're-
front of
It
my
was
microphone.
Dylan.
If you want to
to the
jerk your
applause.
jerkin into my face, I'm not against it.
interesting.
Clap explosion.
You felt.
You know what I want? A pleasure explosion in the face, Jono. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey.
Boy.
Thomas, you forgot to mention how you're a literal neighbourhood peeping Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's been
yeah,
my
well, that's-
favourite
yeah.
part of Tom's week.
Yeah, so I noticed, sort of
Noticed.
probably last weekend, I noticed that my neighbours are also playing Horizon Zero Dawn, because walking into my house I can see through the sliding door into their lounge. And he was level 33, I think, at the end of last weekend, which...
You must have really good eyesight.
How
to be
can
able
you
to
see what level?
Well,
Binoculars, right?
They must
How
have
many of
massive
us have glasses here, though?
that's why it's Peeping Tom,
Nearly
because
all of us.
I just kind of stand and have a quick look and see where he's up to, provided it isn't a story moment. And I take the dog to go to the toilet sort of just in front of his house as well. So
Just yell across the balcony, spoilers!
that's potentially part of why I want to finish it before him, so that I can just go around and spoil the story. But also, I can't have him being better at Horizon Zero Dawn than me. So.
It's on the moon.
That would be Jack ringing up the neighbour and saying, "Can you close your blinds? Because spoilers."
Is he a good
Sounds
bloke?
like just something Jack would do.
Is this guy like, is he a good guy? Like he seems like obviously he's a gamer. He plays a bit of Horizon. Is this someone that you would invite around for a beverage and a gaming session, or is this someone you just sort of avoid?
Maybe I've only met him once. Well, I haven't actually met the guy who's playing Horizon. So on Friday, I met one of the three guys who lives next door. he's the one with the Switch who's been playing Zelda, and he mentioned his flatmate is playing Horizon, because they can equally see straight into our lounge as well. And see that I have been playing Horizon, and did a bit of you and my flatmate are playing the same game.
Okay.
We're friends now. I'm going home.
Such a bizarre relationship.
Does no one in New Zealand have blinds or?
We do have blinds, but the like apartment complex we're in, so we're like right next to each other. So our lounges share a wall. And we look out into a shared courtyard. It's like an internal courtyard.
Right.
And they walk past my deck and basically what we use as the front door to get to their door. So, yeah.
Okay. So you're outside when you see into his. It's not like you can see from your apartment. I'm just trying to get a visual.
No, I have to go outside. So like when I'm coming home or when I take the dog out to the bathroom, I can basically look straight into his house.
So you have to make a concerted effort to peek.
I was going to say, it's not like you're just passing through the lounge room and you're like, you look out the window and you see into his apartment. You're going outside and like watching him.
No, I'm going outside to take the dog to the bathroom, but I happen to see him at the same time.
Story.
Very different.
To see him.
Very
happened
different.
To be in his bathroom when he was showering.
Well, up until yesterday, they were showering in the dark as well, apparently, because now that we're such great friends, he came round on Friday afternoon and said, my light's gone in my shower and I can't get an electrician in to give me a new bulb until Monday. Can I borrow one of yours?
All right, hold up.
This sounds like the start of a porno.
Hold up. I'm bad at that stuff, but I can change a light bulb. Like, I can't dig up a garden, but you better believe I can change a light bulb.
So I'm fairly certain he can change a light bulb too, but it's a big, like, the bulb is like one of those fluorescent tubes in a circle. Okay. Like you have to special order it. So
is it one of those like heat one thing, like the big in the? Yeah, I know what you're saying. I retract my previous statement.
I don't know if it's a heat one, but it's one that is special and probably expensive.
No, that's all.
Well, he's not taking a heat one from me, so if he's expecting heat, he shall be severely disappointed.
No doubt.
Okay, Nick, who have you been spying on this week?
I haven't been spying on anyone. My week has been pretty shitty again this week, but yeah. I finished Horizon. That's a good one. I left work on Friday and found someone had ran into my car, so there's that. And on top of all that, we found our missing rabbit and guinea pig on Tuesday evening. We had a heavy downpour that day, and the rain had washed the topsoil off in the garden, and that fucking dog had killed them and buried them in our front garden. So, terrible. Yeah.
What were their names?
Our female guinea pig was named Lara, and our rabbit
Croft?
Rex. No. And our rabbit was named Rex after Rex from Mass Effect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we should dedicate this podcast to Lara and Rex.
Yeah,
yes.
Full respect.
Thank you.
Can I share a tale of
that?
No, I won't do that.
What was that, Jack?
I was going to share. I've also lost guinea pigs before, and it's not fun.
No.
Mine were Marty and Jennifer, and it was very sad.
And who named them?
I named them Marty and Jennifer because I loved Back to the Future when I was a kid. I still love Back to the Future as an adult, but I used to watch it. Like, I didn't watch Disney movies or anything like that when I was a kid.
I don't know if you listened to last week's episode, Jack.
I did.
Apparently, Back to the Future is a shit movie.
Yeah, look, some people have opinions that are wrong, and some people have opinions that are right. Sometimes you just got to be, But look, I've lost my train of thought. Well, as a kid, I never, I didn't watch Disney, didn't watch ABC. I would get up in the morning, I would put Back to the Future 1 on, and I would watch that through. I would then put Back to the Future 2 on, I would watch that through. Then I'd put number 3 on and begrudgingly watch that through. And I would then watch Indiana Jones if there was enough time left in the day. But I like, those movies are just, they were my life as a child. And hence the names of my guinea pigs, Marty and Jennifer, that were tragically lost to asphyxiation by my oldest sister.
Oh,
Nasty.
That sounds horrific.
My God, where the fuck did you just take this episode?
I told you it was a tale of woe. I'm not like I'm trying to like. I feel your pain, Nick. Mine were taken from me as well, and in a horrific manner. So
yeah.
Is she a sociopath, or did she accidentally
No
sit
offense,
on it
but-
and suffocate it, or what? How does?
You can't leave it like that.
How
no,
old was she?
She like I would have been
26.
3, and she would have
It was 3 weeks ago.
I would have been 3, and she was 18 months older than me, so she probably was about 4.5. And she squeezed them to death with her bare hands,
So you're watching Back to the Future as like a 2 and
Twice.
3 year old.
both at the same time, like one in each hand.
Why?
What was she trying to cuddle them or something? Or
No, I think she was trying to murder them, but
It sounds like she succeeded.
yeah, we had a
Oh, dear.
trying we had a trying relationship, to say the least, me and my sister growing up, and we still do. And that was just probably the beginning of it.
well,
Right, well, so is today's episode called Strangling Hamsters or Guinea Pigs?
And we're going to be. No, I think we can probably try and take it to a more positive light if we want.
oh,
We can go
that's
down.
hard.
We can go down the rabbit hole. Pun intended.
Who's left? Jono?
I've been already.
Have you? Okay.
How's your week, Ash?
Yeah,
Yeah, Ash has got to
Let's
fill
just
us
move
in.
on to the
Ash,
topic, I
yeah.
think, before we get any more darker.
I was like, help me, someone help.
So this week, I wanted to talk about every nerd's favorite subject: sports.
Yeah.
The foosballs.
If you're a sports fan in Australia like I am, it's a pretty exciting time. We're recording the 12th of March, so the second round of the NRL is just completing. We just finished the last preseason games of the AFL, so that's like
Yep.
2 weeks away. The A-League season's coming to the...
Who was that?
What up, fucking nerds?
And where do I get the app from for that?
Nerds.
I don't know. It's called. It's called Instant Rap Horn or something.
That's it.
And I've had it on my phone for a few years, and it's probably my favourite thing on there because there's always times like that where you're like, now's the chance.
Well, I'm about to give them one more download.
Continue, Ash.
Continue.
No, I'm
Sorry.
completely lost.
Not
I had
sorry.
a nice monologue going, and Dylan, you've ruined it. So, Dylan, what are your thoughts on
fucking
sport?
hell, dude.
Welcome to the
rules.
fucking podcast.
Welcome to
Where-
the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
We got fun and games.
Gonna die.
Sports. I used to play sports when I was a young kid. You wouldn't believe any of this shit, though, would you?
Nope.
I
Seldom believe
young
what you
Dylan?
say.
I know you used to
I-
skate, and I consider that a
Skater boy.
sport.
That doesn't really count.
Ooh.
Well,
Hey.
I mean, you can count it if you want.
Are you trying to
used to-
tell me that you were a skater boy?
I was a skater boy. I said, see you later, boy. He wasn't good enough for you.
Shout out to Avril Lavigne circa 2002, man.
Man, she was the shit back then,
Yeah.
though.
Fuck yeah.
And then she came out with that Hello Kitty song, whatever that one was. Didn't you watch that?
You lost me.
No. I know
Should
she
I
married
call it?
Chad
I don't
Kroeger
even remember
from,
it. She was like,
Nickelback.
she turned up someday and she's like, yeah, no, wasn't she with the dude from some?
She was with
41?
Derek from
Probably.
Sum 41, and then
Yeah,
th-
from Sum
she's still
that
41.
ended.
Shit.
Then she went to Nickelback.
Which Sum 41 had a couple good songs. You know that song Fat
man.
Lip?
Sum 41's the jit.
That's
I
the
love
fucking
Sum
shit.
41.
I love fucking
Yeah,
Sum
they're actually
41,
pretty
man.
fucking good.
They just released a song, I think last year, called Fake My
Yeah,
Own
they put-
Death.
yeah, they put out a
Awesome
new one last
song,
year, I
man.
think.
Awesome song. If anyone's a fan of Sum 41 or even like that sort of early 2000s punk rock type music, download that song, Fake My Own Death by Sum 41. Fucking awesome song, man.
What
Yeah,
if somebody
buy it
were a
legally
fan
on
of
iTunes
sport?
or listen to
Jack?
it on Spotify.
Well, absolutely.
What was I saying? Oh yes, so I played soccer outside of school,
Okay.
Yeah.
or football if you're
No, soccer's fine.
Soccer,
Richie.
yeah.
Yeah. I never really liked football in school. Although when you're young, you can't just get stuck playing every sport because it's like, you know, you're primary school or whatever. It's like you get dragged. It's like, here's a football, kick it, and then you quickly find out if you're a jock or not very fast. Like it's like those guys are the jocks, and I'm not part of their groups, and I'm over here. Anyway, I used to really enjoy soccer. I played it up until when I turned 16 or 17. I can't remember how it worked. Up until I was like 16 or 17, because then the age gap moved up. Like I had to leave my team I'd been with for years behind, and I would have had to have like joined the next team with the next age bracket, because I was too old for my current one, and all the other people were like a year younger than me. And I tried out that for like a week or two, but everyone in that new team was 2 or 3 years older than me, and they already were all like best friends and everything, and it was really awkward, and I didn't really get along with any of them, and I was like, well, I'm only doing this for fun, and if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to do it. So I never did it again.
Yeah,
but the other thing I had with soccer was like I really enjoyed playing it. I fucking hated watching it. Like, I'd never watch it. Like, everyone else that was on my team would, like, enjoy watching. They'll be like, did you watch, fucking whoever. I don't even know the teams these days. But it's like Manchester United vs Arsenal, or, some shit like that.
What did you call me?
They are still teams, yeah.
At 1 a.m. in the morning or 2 a.m. in the morning, whenever the matches are on because of the time zones. I'm like, no, it's boring. What do you mean it's boring? I'm like, it's just boring to watch. Like, it's fun. I have the opposite reaction to, like, something like lawn bowls. I'm like, lawn bowls? Boring as fuck. Like, it's like, oh, that looks so boring, and then like, oh,
it's
but
fun
you play
to play.
lawn bowls.
Yeah.
Fuck lawn bowls. Fun. Lawn bowls is fun as fuck to play.
Barefoot bowls is the way to go.
Yeah.
So do you watch any sort of sport? You're Tasmanian, so do you have any teams at all? So,
I mean, don't we claim Hawthorn?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah, North Melbourne and Hawthorn both play home games. Hawthorn play in Launceston, I think. North Melbourne play in Hobart. You can't spell incest without you can't spell Launceston without incest.
Yes, the football ground is about a 15-minute drive from where I am. So
yeah, it's a great ground. Like, there's some great, and Tasmania gets a lot of shit, and there's a lot of talk. Like that, in my opinion, they probably should have had an AFL team rather than like the West Sydney. But the AFL doesn't see Tasmania as a growth.
Well, they wanted
channel.
to move it down to Hobart for a better chance of doing it, because they're like, well, maybe if we move our team's capital to the capital of the state, there'll be a higher chance of them getting as a team.
Yeah, because the Launceston team played in the VFL for a while, and they were actually quite good, but they sort of fell apart. It was hard because you got guys coming from the south, guys going from the north. It was too hard for them to get a team together, so it didn't really survive. But Tasmania's got a very rich football heritage, and a lot of good players have come out of there. So, but that's we can go down the rabbit hole on that one. But
do we just want to go?
I feel like we already did.
Yeah. I was going to say we can just.
I wanted to hold him to last so somebody else could get a word in, but
because I'm pretty much done. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you all.
Jack would be our sport guy. I'd put Jono maybe second. But I know most of you are in the sport. Like, Jack's heavy in the sport, Jono. Nick's heavy in... I don't know much about if Tom or at... Like, I don't know. These are all...
Well, how about we let us talk and we'll find out?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to guess, buddy. I'm playing fucking It's a Bingo over here, mate.
It's a bingo!
Aussie Nick. Fuck.
Aussie Nick. Yeah, no, I love sport. Like, it's my... Like, I said in one of my journals, sport and video games, like, they're obviously on two polar opposite sort of spectrums, but, they're my two sort of main hobbies. AFL, obviously, my favourite. I grew up in a very sport sort of, like, my dad was a massive sports sort of guy, like, played footy, cricket, golf, everything. And I pretty much the same from a very young age, like, played footy all through school, played cricket not as much, but just sort of towards the end of high school, which I always regretted not starting cricket earlier. And I've played golf, as long as I've been able to pick up a stick and swing it. So
I think they call them clubs.
Yeah, it's clubs. Yeah, no, they do. You're right. Yeah, no, fair call. But I have an appreciation for all sport. There's some sports I don't enjoy as much as others, like soccer would be one. But I appreciate it, and I'll watch it like when the Aussies are playing. Pretty much is the only time I'll watch it. Rugby as well. Like I'm not into rugby, but I'll appreciate. Like, I was watching the Sevens World Championship the other day. That was awesome. Like, very high speed rugby. But again, not my thing. But footy, cricket, golf. Like, I'll watch a full round of golf. Some people say they can't stand watching golf or cricket, but I could watch a test match cricket from the first ball of day one, the final ball on day 5. Like, I love it. It's just awesome. And UFC, like, I always forget to talk about the UFC when I talk about sports, but it's quickly becoming like one of my favorite sports. I love the UFC. I think it's just like, I know some people aren't into that and like they don't like the violence and all that, but it's just such a, it is about as pure a sport as you can get. Like, if you think about like the original sports in like the Colosseum, where it's just like two dudes going at it, like that's as close as you can get to that these days. Just two guys going at it, like, you know, whoever like lasts the longest is the
just
is the winner.
hammering each other.
Yeah, and it's
a shame they wear clothes these days.
But I love it, and you know, obviously you all know that I'm a massive Western Bulldogs
Really?
supporter.
No,
Yeah,
no,
in case
wait,
you hadn't
no,
noticed.
what?
But
What do they do?
So they play Aussie rules football. They used to be called Footerscray, but now they are the mighty Western Bulldogs.
Did they
They
say
are
it with
sport.
that accent?
If I don't know if anyone's familiar with Franco Cozzo. So
Nope.
there's a very there's a very well known in Melbourne, specifically in the western suburbs. The guy owns a furniture store. He's like the woggiest Italian, and I can say wog because I am one. He's like the woggiest guy that he's like, Franco Cozzo, come with Brunswick and Footerscray, and he is like a staple in Footscray, like out in the western Melbourne. And he had like the commercials on the telly, and he was like, people would like, he was like, Footerscray, and so that's in it. Oh.
Can you explain to your international audience what this WOG term is all about?
Oh, yes, of course. So I believe it stands for, and I could be wrong, but I've been told it stands for Western Oriental Gentleman, which I don't know how, like, and I've been told it sort of comes from like the word gollywog or whatever, but it basically just means Italian, like Italian person, like wogs, like that's
Mediterranean, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it could be. Yeah, it could
Greek,
be. It could be
yeah.
Greek. Could be Lebanese. Could be anything. But you know, that's what we sort of say. But no, I get a lot of shit from my family, specifically my girlfriend's side of the family, because of how passionate I am about specifically the AFL. Like I will, like, if there's a footy game on and stuff, and there's like a family function on, it's like I've got to go to the footy. Like, the footy is my thing. But I see it as more of like a religion than like it's a sport that I'm into. It's a lot more, to me, it's a lot more primal than just, you know, watching a sport. It's like, to me, it's like a tribal kind of thing, the way that I follow, you know, specifically AFL, not so much other sports, but specifically the Bulldogs and the AFL. So I don't know how, like the other, you know, you guys, if you're Ash, obviously you're into the rugby and that kind of thing, and Jono, you're into the basketball. Like, how do you guys sort of feel about it? Because to me, the AFL is my favourite sort of thing, and the Bulldogs specifically. And it to me, it's more about it's a part of my life, as in like it's my religion. It's like it's a primal sort of thing, and more so than just a sport that I follow.
Was that directed at?
Yeah, I was asking. Yeah, it's Ash and Jono and you guys that are into sport. Yeah, I was like, how do you guys sort of is it just a sport for you guys, or is it more than that? Because for me, it's more than that. It's something I'm really passionate about.
I mean, for me, I was going to say that I love basketball as much as Jack loves footy, but that's probably not true if you're going that far. But for me, it's a passion, and it's an interest, and it's something that takes up a lot of my brain space, and it's also the basis of a lot of my friendships as well. I've made tons of friends just from our interest in basketball, and, you know, being able to talk about that and do fantasy sports and all that kind of thing, playing 2K, whatever it is. But I guess it's more akin to the way that I view video games rather than a religion or something.
So where'd the basketball come from? Because basketball's not like a huge thing here in Australia or New Zealand, I'd imagine.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I just started playing NBA Live 97 or something. I had a babysitter that was really into the Bulls, and it was a sport that I just thought was a lot cooler than others. And everyone
was into the Bulls in the 90s.
Yeah. I stuck with the Bulls through that, but I was also into footy a lot back then. Like, that was the same time that Adelaide, my team, because I was born in Adelaide, was really good. We won back-to-back premierships, 97, 98, and that was the same time that I got into the Bulls. Yeah, I was at that prelim, Jack. I was there.
No, I don't.
It was
don't do it.
the
I
best
don't want to talk about
live sporting event that I've ever been to. Anyway. And yeah, so basketball's just something that's stuck with me since then for some reason. I had a period where I, didn't pay attention the same way. It was pretty much the same period where I didn't pay attention to video games, but I came back to it as an adult, and since then it's just been something I've been kind of obsessed with. And I haven't really got time for any other sports. That's the thing. Like, I respect footy. I love to watch it if it's on, and I don't know any of the players anymore because I'm just out of it. But I just don't have the time to follow it, really. That's all it is.
I guess that's the beauty of Australian sports specifically, is that you have the season, for a Victorian, and probably Ash, you can agree with as a Queenslander. I don't know if you're into cricket, Ash, but you get cricket season is from November through to late Jan, early Feb, and then from that you kick straight into footy season, and it's great. You get footy all the way up until October, and you have a month off, and then back into cricket season, which is it's good because I don't have, during the footy season, I literally I don't even have time to catch up on podcasts and stuff because I'm listening to the radio. I'm following what's going on in the footy during the week and the news and that, and it takes up my whole weekends. I watch the games, and then you go to the games, and that's a half an hour drive to the game for 3 hours, and then drive home after the game. I can't. It's hard enough to do other shit, let alone following two sports that are running concurrently. So I can sympathise with Jono, definitely. Yeah,
people have said, come and do Dream Team or whatever. And I think that's what it would take for me to get back into the footy. But usually the AFL season coincides with the playoffs of NBA. So I'm just nah, it's all good.
What about you, Nick? Because you've got a interesting sport that you're into.
Yeah, well, pretty much like Jack, I'm a ride or die New England Patriots supporter for the American football. It is.
Can I cut you off there? Because if there's one sport that we're going to talk about here that shouldn't be called football, it's American football.
It is what it is.
There's 2 players on the field that actually kick the ball at all game.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting one, isn't it? They call it football. I mean, it's traditionally it's gridiron, isn't it?
In the US, the gridiron, what they refer to as the gridiron, is the playing field. I don't know how the game adapted that name here. I think it's just an appropriation of terms, but yeah, something to call it different here in Australia, but it's known as football over there. It all started when I was little. My dad used to watch it. He wasn't a religious watcher. He'd watch it if it was on, but he was always a fan of the Dolphins. And
Ace Ventura.
Yeah. Laces out. But yeah, I remember watching it with my dad one day, and they were playing a team called the New England Patriots, and they had pretty much the same colours as my rugby league team when I used to follow it, the Newcastle Knights. And since then, it just always followed them. I haven't really followed American football up until really about 4 or 5 years ago religiously. That's when I started, when I because they have this subscription in air quotes thing called Game Pass, where you can pay a fee and pretty much have access to everything. And since then, I've just been a religious student of the game, really. I try to watch every game that I can. I mean, I have it playing on my phone while I'm at work. Yeah, and the Super Bowl this year, I mean, it was... I'm not even lying when I say it's one of the greatest moments of my life, trying experiencing that with all the people that I did. It just the roller coaster of emotions I was on. It was just...
Because you were over at Stark Casino,
yeah.
weren't you? Yeah.
We went and watched it at the casino. It was the Monday after RTX, and it was packed there, and just the two teams playing and their fans and the ribbing between each other, and you could see the Atlanta fans going hell for leather all day, but when they started coming back at the end, they were how I felt all game, just written off, sunk into my seat. It was just... I don't know how to explain it. it's the same for me as it is for Jack. It's a religion, really. And
That's impressive.
Yeah. And my sporting history, really, I played soccer for a couple of years when I was younger. Then I played the league until under 10s.
League of Legends?
No, rugby league.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry.
That's the only league that Dylan knows about.
And then, yeah, after that, I played golf like every weekend for a couple of years. But other than that, I haven't really been a big... Even when I did play sports, I wasn't a real big sport-playing person. Like, I've always been a large kid. Like, I haven't been really athletic. But, yeah, I mean... And I started playing...
Me
too.
And, funnily enough, because growing up, I always wanted to play American football, and then a local team started up about 4 or 5 years ago, and I played for the first season then, when I was still working at my other job. And, yeah, I loved it, but unfortunately when I got my new job, I couldn't play it anymore, so... Yeah, it is what it is.
Why is that? Is that just like the...
Schedules?
You couldn't always guarantee the time off work and stuff?
Yeah, true, yeah, because this current job I'm working at now, I work every second weekend off.
For the devil.
Yeah, for the devil. And
still don't know.
And I just haven't been able to commit the time. Like, it wouldn't be fair on me not being able to train and showing up every second weekend and playing when I know somebody who's put their all in, like going to every training session, I'm potentially letting them miss out. So
yeah, it's hard, isn't it? I was just like, I played footy all the way through school, and my career was cut short by a tragic lack of talent.
We can all sympathise with you there.
Yeah, no, it's hard when you give it up though. Like it's such a big part of your life, and you can't. I think about every year. I'm like, I'm going to play footy again this year, and then I'll get up and like turn slightly, and my back will creak and my knee will click, and I'm like, nope, no, and then
lofty
same
aspirations.
thing. Yeah, I'm sitting on the couch watching cricket, and I'm like, get out and play cricket again. Cricket's probably the only one where I could see myself actually going and playing again, only because you can when I played cricket, and you can play with you can be like a 50-year-old fat dude and just hit boundaries, and you don't have to be super athletic. Whereas with footy, you have to have a certain amount of athleticism, or you can, and it's very easily to fuck yourself up, forever. Knowing my luck, I'd go out and bust a knee. Yeah, 100%. I'm so unfit that I'd do a knee in my first game and I'd be buggered for the rest of my life, so it's just not worth it.
Yeah, in regards to cricket, I did play for a season, or not even a season, for about a handful of games, and fuck standing out there in the middle of the day in that heat. I hate the heat at the best of times, and I'm not fucking stupid enough now to stand in the middle of the field for all day.
Yeah, it's tough. It is a tough part of the game.
Yeah. What about you, Ash? You're a league follower?
Yeah, obviously growing up in Brisbane, it's a one-team town for pretty much every sport. I guess the main reason I love sport is I've got 3 brothers, but I grew up with 2. And we all sort of played together with a bunch of other guys who just happened to be living around the same area. We'd play cricket pretty much all summer season, and then play rugby league, try to play rugby league during the winter season, which was probably not the smartest idea because we pretty much set up one try line on the other side of the road, and then the other try line was between a house and between the wall of the house and like a stone retaining wall. So it is a miracle that one of us is not dead.
Yes. Great. That's awesome.
So, yeah, obviously growing up in Brisbane during the 90s, the Broncos like a massive deal. Obviously because the Courier Mail owns a stake in the Broncos, so they get a lot of publicity. But then my dad's from Melbourne, so when the Lions started winning at the start of the 21st century, started to get into AFL.
How's that working out for you now?
Not great. But we did beat a certain team the other week in a preseason match, I know.
They did very well, yeah. They beat our seconds very well. It was good.
Nice little caveat in there.
I was actually impressed. To be fair, I was actually impressed with the Lions, because they have been abysmal. Let's be honest, for the last
Yeah,
couple of
it's
years,
been
and
bad.
they showed a lot more dash than they have in recent years against us. And it is only pre-season, so you
It
can't get
is.
too bloody carried away. But you can always there's always signs.
Yes.
So if you can get a couple of little things out of it, you're generally pretty happy.
If we could get through a year without some massive injuries, it would be very nice.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah, but also grew up playing soccer. Pretty much all my friends through high school loved soccer or football, so there's a deep passion there. Obviously, culminating in Australia finally qualifying for the World Cup in our last year when I graduated high school, which was like a massive moment. And then the A-League started pretty much the next year, so I've been a massive supporter of the Brisbane Roar. Been to all 3 grand finals, which is
a very successful team.
very successful.
In their league.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much sort of have a general understanding of every sort of major sport in Australia. Don't have like a massive interest in like motorsport or golf or I know surfing and that sort of thing, but I think I'm a pretty good sports fan. Keep up with most things. Yeah, that's about it for me. So what about you, Tom? Being a Kiwi, I imagine it's nothing but rugby and netball.
Yeah. So it's All Blacks all day, basically.
Yeah, it is.
All Blacks all day.
As
He's talking
far
about the
as,
sporting team, Dylan.
Oh, fuck, sorry. I zone out sometimes. I'm like zoned out for the last half an hour, and all I heard was Old Blacks, and I was like, finally, my chance.
I
Continue. Back to my corner.
Yeah, so obviously a passionate supporter of the All Blacks. Watch them for every game, and like recently, the last couple of years, I've even been doing the getting up in the middle of the night to watch the games when they're overseas, even when they're not important games. The Chiefs are the super rugby team that I would support as well, being that they're based in Hamilton and I grew up in Hamilton. But as a kid, didn't do any team sports, not for laziness. So I did karate for a long time as a kid, which sort of took up a lot of my evenings and weekends. So didn't involve myself in anything else.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what else to quite say about sport. The rugby is basically all I follow, and then otherwise New Zealand, for the most part, just has particularly shitty teams as an add-on to the Australian league.
Bonus team.
So we've got the Phoenix in the A-League, who are terrible, and we've got the Warriors in the NRL, who are often equally
Always seem
terrible.
to look good, but who look like they're going to have a good year and then don't.
And then never manage to.
Tom,
I don't follow them myself, but I know from friends that follow them. We always beat the teams at the top of the table, who we're supposed to have absolutely no way in hell of beating, and we can never beat the teams who are sitting at the bottom of the table with us. So we languish in the sort of the lower half of the of the table.
You're the best of
because
the
we can
worst.
only beat half of the teams, and only the teams that are otherwise playing well. Yeah.
Do you follow any English teams, considering that's where you're from?
Nah, not at all. And I
feel any
don't
connection?
care for the cricket really either. So we moved to New Zealand in 1996. So I was 7. So I have no great affinity to England anymore, and New Zealand's the home, and I
You're not missing much, buddy.
support the New Zealand teams. What was that, Sir Jack?
You're not missing much.
No.
Since
No,
I'm
I
going to
believe
bring
that.
up, I'm going to swing it around to connecting it to video games before we wrap up today's episode, and I'm going to bring up eSports, and we're going to go over real quick who. It doesn't matter if you've ever watched eSports before, but if you think the idea of them is stupid, or if you just or you don't, either you think they're stupid or you don't think they're stupid. General consensus. Whoever wants to go.
I have zero interest in them, but I respect that there are a lot of people who have zero interest in regular, quote unquote, physical sports that feel the same way that we do when they get to watch someone crush a dude in, I don't know, Tekken or... They don't even play anything as cool as Tekken though, do they? It's mostly those kind
Well,
of...
I haven't
Mostly Street Fighter,
for
isn't
anyone that's interested, I have in front of me the top 5 most played, most popular esports.
League of
by,
Legends.
Can we guess?
Prize top games award
Dota.
prize money.
Dodo.
Correct. Dota is number 1.
Like
Number
League of
1.
Legends,
League of Legends is number 2.
Call of Duty.
Not even top 5.
Oh, really?
Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike's number 3.
Street Fighter?
No, not even close.
Overwatch.
Really?
No,
It wouldn't be something like Smash, would it?
no.
Something like...
Is it StarCraft?
StarCraft or something?
StarCraft 2 is number 4, and number 5 is Counter-Strike again. So,
How is
Yeah,
how is
well,
number
number
5
number
Counter Strike
two is
again?
normal Counter-Strike, and the most popular one's Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is the latest Counter-Strike, which came out however many 5-10 years ago, however.
Yeah.
And then just to read off the top 10 to finish it off, Hearthstone's number 6. Heroes of the Storm's number 7.
I've never even
you
heard of
probably
that.
don't know what that's like a MOBA made by what's
It's
the fuck
Blizzard's League of
Blizzard.
Legends.
Yeah, it's Blizzard's MOBA.
Still
It's-
don't
yeah.
really know what a MOBA is, but that's fine.
Well, I mean, I could explain it. StarCraft's number 8, 9 Smite, and
What
number 10 Warcraft 3.
StarCraft is one of them StarCraft 2 and one of them...
Yes, so the one that's in the top 4, number 4 StarCraft 2, and then StarCraft 1, I presume, in number whatever.
Really big
9
in
or
Korea,
8.
apparently.
Yeah, if
pretty
you
much
if you
everything.
ever watch, I don't like StarCraft. I have watched people stream it, and I've watched YouTube videos of people playing it, and I don't understand what the fuck's happening. But I just watched it for like the really, really popular like pro Korean players. Like it's like watching someone be if you know when someone's really, really good at something, you can just watch them even if you don't understand what they're doing because it's just so amazing.
Yeah.
Watching someone play StarCraft really well, I don't understand how their hand moves so fast.
Yeah, it's
They will
crazy, isn't it?
literally move the house. Their hand, mouse, and fingers will move backwards and forwards so fucking fast and like click on all these things. I don't understand how their mind even works as fast or their fingers move as fast as it does. And I'm just like, you're amazing. Don't know what the fuck's going on. Good job, aliens and shit. But that's cool. Anyway, back to who else goes?
Yeah,
So Jono's like it's fine.
I don't know how I feel about esport. My
Is it a sport?
yeah, my
Yeah, I think it
my
is.
traditional sport sort of side of me goes, no, fuck, that's not a sport. But the other part of me goes, well, I kind of think that it is. It's a like by definition, if you looked up sport in the dictionary, it probably wouldn't be. Like sport would be something about a physical something or other. But it's
No, because
in
chess
my-
is a
Floorball
sport,
is a
isn't it?
sport.
Well,
And
yeah,
chess
that-
is a sport,
that's
yeah.
it, yeah. So my feeling on it is that it is a sport. So it's like it's a competitive. You know, you're pitting your skill and your wit and your intelligence against an opponent to try and get to a goal. And so whether it's if it's fucking racquetball or it's chess or I think
Because I wasn't gonna bring this up before because I was gonna let you go through traditional sports, and I mentioned how I've given zero shits about ever watching traditional sports. And I did joke about League of Legends before, but I spent a good year or more of my life playing a fuck ton of League of Legends. And I hated that game when
Fucking
I first played
PC
it.
nerd.
I jumped. It's the weirdest thing ever.
How are your
right?
drivers?
'Cause, probably
Yeah,
out of date
mouse
to
and
be
keyboard.
real. But I haven't played that game for years, and yet I will still tune in to watch like the Worlds or like really high level competitions because I still can understand how it's played, even though I might not be up with like the meta of like what's good in the game. But I can still understand it, and I still really, really enjoy watching it. And the biggest sport watching moments of my life, quote unquote, have been when I was really into the game, which would have been like the 2015 Worlds, which was held in I can't remember the state. I mean, Jono could probably tell the biggest like stadium in America for basketball,
Oh,
whatever that is.
Madison Square Garden or something?
I think it's something like that. That's where they held the League of Legends finals in like 2000 Worlds in 2015, and they packed that place with people, and it was just the craziest thing I've ever seen because there's all these people everywhere in the crowd and whatever. The monitor's up, and then you just see these 5 dudes on different ends there fucking playing computer games. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Yet at the same time, fuck, it's cool because they had like, you know, bands come out play, like they put on a halftime show. They did the full thing, and watching that, sitting at home watching that, that was the only time like you asked like watching sports. I was like screaming at my TV, like fucking like people would do the craziest shit. You'd think this person was like about to kill someone, like and then they'll do the craziest shit and be like, oh my fucking god. So
you're a real fucking nerd, aren't you?
Yeah, when you say sports moments, like favorite watching sports moments, I'm always going to think of eSports because I never enjoyed watching real sports.
I've never watched a match.
I watched the Street Fighter one day. They had that going on just recently. I watched it was on like ESPN 7 or something. I'm watching it.
They show it on that now. Yeah,
I couldn't stop watching it. Like I was just like, oh yeah, and I was like, had it on, and I was going to turn it off. I'm like, he's going to get him. Like, I can
tell you what makes it interesting, and it's the exact same thing as what sells or breaks normal sports, and it's the commentators.
Yeah.
If the commentators are boring, you're not going to get into it and you're not going to feel it. But I feel like even if you don't understand the game, because I've tuned into a lot of games I don't understand as well, but if the commentators are kind of explaining it to me, yet at the same time having fun and getting me amped up, I will pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at you, Gus Gould.
Maybe one of my takeaways will have to be go and watch some league
of all the games here that you might be interested and could understand to watch something of, Rocket League is a huge esports title these days.
Really?
It's the where was it here? It's like the 40 something most popular one currently.
Disc Jam's going to go up that 51 list all the way to the top.
We need to get on the ground floor.
Get on Disc Jam.
One of us will play Disc Jam with you, Jono.
Yeah.
Rocket League is number 51, and it's already had 98 like proper paid tournaments. Wow. And it's had a total prize pool of 375,000 so far, which is pretty decent for that little tiny indie game to have like proper tournaments around it and prize money and stuff like that.
I got the platinum trophy in Rocket League.
Yeah, so you can probably be a pro.
Yeah, I pretty much nailed it.
You can't see me shaking my head, but I am.
Aren't we all too old to be pros now? They're all like 21.
Yeah, we actually are. Yeah, most pros retire at like 23, 24. So
funny you say that.
Alfredo Diaz was saying his reflexes have slowed down, and he's probably 26.
Yeah. My favourite League of Legends player retired at 24, so...
Did he retire because he could retire, or did he just stop playing video games competitively?
His reflexes were actually too slow.
He had to give the game away.
I mean, has he won enough money to now go and just piss around,
he won a lot of money. He won a lot of money, and he still has sponsors, because most of them turn to just Twitch streaming full-time.
Yeah,
and because they're retired and like if they're popular, they'll get invited on to be like a guest commentator at a match or something to commentate the match.
Is his name anything for views?
No, fuck that guy. So yeah, there's my. We didn't get a round off, and we need to probably wrap up the podcast soon. So everyone else that hasn't gone, esports, yay, nay?
Yeah, I am a fan. I wouldn't say I watch it, but if it's on, I'll watch it. Like, I'm really interested in the Counter-Strike one because some of the high-level play in that is absolutely ridiculous. Like, they'll get shots off and you have no idea how they did it. Like, you see, he sees them for a millisecond and just takes them out. It is... I like to think... Yeah. Back in the day, I thought I was really good at Counter-Strike, and I reckon if I stuck with it, I might have had a shot, maybe get into some finals, but...
Until you took an arrow to the knee.
Do you even 360 no-scope?
No, I never did any of that. Like, I think it was more wishful thinking, but I actually was alright at Counter-Strike, but yeah, I never followed through with any of it.
I think... I think it's just that the money is there. I mean, the insane amount of money that is getting thrown into esports at the moment is mind-boggling.
And it's a lot. Yeah.
And,
And the amount of money, considering it's not even mainstream either.
yeah,
Yeah. And the funniest part about it, ultimately, was because normal sports are always on, like, mainstream TV. Like, it's always like, well, it's sponsored by... It's like Fox Sports or ESPN. That's where you go to watch the matches. Or you pay $50 for a pay-per-view channel. And all of esports are just like, you watch it for free on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's been on ESPN, and it's always generated an interesting discussion about whether it should be there or not. But
Yeah, Colin Coward always had a big big say in that.
and then Gordon Hayward,
ironic-
who's one of the big stars in the NBA, came out and defended it because he's a huge nerd.
oh, I watched that video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I watched
awesome.
that one.
Go on, Nick.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, someone.
I can.
I do
Go on,
remember
Esther.
watching the League of Legends Worlds a couple of years ago when it was being held in Korea. And there was
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. There was like a massive stadium, and there's like all these people in chairs sitting there just watching
Yeah, it's crazy.
10 guys play video games. It is a new
Yeah.
world.
If you want to do something interesting, just type in like League of Legends Worlds, and just there'll probably be a montage video of all the crazy shit, and just watch it. It is, you won't understand what's happening in the games. Obviously, they'll cut between moments of people, like it'll be the like if it was an AFL one, it'll cut between all these moments of people catching balls and kicking them and stuff. And if you didn't understand what was going on and people were screaming, you'd be like, what the fuck is even happening? So it'd be a lot of that, but just to understand the hype and how big it is, if you have no idea, it's worth checking out. Anyway, esports, cool. Good job, everyone.
Yeah, I'm fine with the idea of esports. Like, as I said, I've never watched them, but I for no reason think that they shouldn't exist or shouldn't be called a sport or anything like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's very much an each to their own kind of
Yeah, live and let
philosophy.
live.
Yeah. It's not affecting me, and if you want to call
Yeah,
it a
that's
sport, then fine,
Yeah.
it's a sport. I don't have some definition that you have to do it on grass for it to be a sport, or
Yeah.
you have
it's not
to
like the sun's
actually
not gonna
touch
rise.
somebody else or something weird like that. Like, yeah,
Cool.
get in.
If you guys
More
will
money than I'll
indulge
ever
me,
have.
I just wanted to
Sure.
do a couple of rapid fire questions before we end.
Go for it.
How are we expected to answer these all at the same time? Because I imagine that is going to be something to listen to.
I will prompt you.
Good.
Okay.
Love it.
So, best sporting moment, Dylan.
TSM making grand final.
Thomas.
2015 World Cup All Blacks victory against Australia.
Nick.
Super Bowl 51, easily.
Jono.
Sorry, Jack. I have to go with the 1997 prelim, Adelaide versus Footscray. 50-point comeback. Yeah. I was up in the stands, southern stand. Best live sporting event of my life. We'll
Jack.
talk about that more in San Francisco.
I mean, obviously, 2016 AFL Grand Final, equal best day of my life, along with my son being born. Just getting there. I'll go into one day the whole sort of story behind that whole final series month, but yeah, that obviously is the number one for me.
And for me, it would be the first Brisbane Royal Grand Final win, where we came back from 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go to win the title. So, what is your favourite sports movie? Dylan.
Favorite sports movie? Rocky.
Oh, man.
Thomas?
I've got no idea.
No, I...
Can I say
then-
Running Man? Is it the Arnold Schwarzenegger one where he has to like fight his way out of the thing? Is that a sport? Let's go with Running Man.
Sure. Okay, and Nick?
It's a tie between dodgeball and basketball.
Oh, that's good. Good choices.
Good choices.
What about Air Bud?
Fuck yes.
Can I say Air Bud?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Space
what
Jam's
about
up
you?
for grabs.
Yeah, Jono? Space Jam?
No. Dylan said Rocky, so I'll go with Creed. They're both awesome.
Oh, yeah. Jack?
So good.
First thing that came to mind was Hardball with Keanu Reeves, but I know that's not a very good movie. Dodgeball is another good one. That's a hard question with no with no notice. So
Only for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, only for me, obviously. Yeah.
You had the longest notice out of all of us.
I know, and I'm trying to think. I'm
Yeah,
like, what
you were last. Yeah,
what
that's
movie
true.
was
He's
it?
100% right, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Though I'm struggling to think. Oh no, actually, I Aussie Rules. The movie. It's not really.
I've watched that.
Yeah,
that's
it's slightly.
It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's a full-on movie. It's about the Aboriginal community, an outback community with a high Aboriginal sort of population, and just around some issues there around race and that. So, really cool movie, really good Australian movie.
Okay, the right answer was Mighty Ducks.
Ooh.
Okay, and finally,
Fair enough.
some 2017 predictions. Dylan, what is going to be the esport of 2017?
Disc Jam.
Yeah.
It's your boy Disc Jam.
Shit, boy!
I got one trophy to go.
Holy shit. I'm fucking playing this game.
Jono, who's going to win the NBA title this year?
Whew. I'll give it to the Cavs going back to back. Looking good.
Nick, who's going to win next year's Super Bowl?
Oh, the Patriots. They've been making some big off-season moves, and if they draft well...
Okay, who are they
they're
going to play against?
unstoppable. Oh, maybe Atlanta might make it back there again.
Yeah? All right. And Tom, how badly are the All Blacks going to beat the Wallabies?
Pretty badly, I think, if the Super 15's anything to go by. I'm hoping for at least a 50-plus.
Oh,
Now
And-
that might be ambitious, but I don't think the Wallabies are anything
Certainly
to worry
possible.
about this year. Yeah.
And Jack, who are the Bulldogs going to play in the grand final?
I reckon it's a good one. Honestly, I reckon GWS. If we make it to the grand final, we'll either have to go through them or we'll be playing them. They're going to be a tough mob to beat this year. They've done very well with setting that team up. So GWS would be my pick.
Cool.
Is
And I'll just
mob
say-
a term that you usually use?
Beg your pardon?
Is mob a term that you usually use for like a team?
It is, yeah.
Their
mob,
wider
yeah.
training group or something?
No, yeah, the whole club mob. Yeah.
Cool. And I'll predict that the Maroons will win the State of Origin again. Queenslander! So I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Dylan, where can people find you on the internet?
You can follow me at Viva La Deal TV, which is VIVALAT DIL TV, and www.vivaladil.com and youtube.com/Viva La Deal. Thank you very much, and this podcast.
What about you, Tom?
Tom DeBomb 89, TOMDABOM 89, anywhere and everywhere. Apart from Snapchat, which my Snapchat got hacked, so I have Tom DeBomb 89 _2.
He's also Tom DeBomb on Pornhub.
If you want unsolicited dick pics, follow Tom DeBomb 89 on chat.
I'm fucking in.
Nick.
You can find me on Twitter at Lord N.Prior, PRIOR, and you can find links to all my other online stuff on there.
Jono.
All social medias, Jono himself. And you can check out Putting In Work with Jono Peck on the iTunes store for more of this bassy voice.
I do recommend.
You've been doing good.
Oh, thank
Putting in
you.
work,
Thank you.
Jono.
Appreciate that, fellas.
Good work. And Jack.
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Cruisy_mate. That's Cruisy with a K, RUSEY. And on YouTube, just Cruisy Mate, no underscore. Stay tuned for my video journal about how terrible I am at being a tradesperson.
Everybody's looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
You can follow me on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEY, HOBLEY. You can follow the show on Twitter at Explosion Pod. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/explosionpod. And you can also check out our website that Nick built with his own two hands at pleasureexplosion.com. If you want to make sure...
Build it sexy.
Bitches.
Bitches.
If you want to make sure you never miss an episode of Pleasure Explosion, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or the podcast service of your choice. If you like the show, leave us a review. If you haven't gotten any yet, it really helps us out because of algorithms and stuff. So, yeah, that just about does us. Does anybody have anything else to add?
I was just going to say, if you want to hear a podcast about fake leather, you can follow Pleather Explosion.